You don't need to know what I do when I do shit, all right? I just do shit because I do shit.
All right, well, I didn't ask what you did. This is really awkward.
Don't lie.
I think you're just saying things at this point.
I think you're just...
Just say things.
You know what? Don't ruin my fun, all right? They don't know.
They don't know. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
Well, welcome for the first time. It's a weird place to start, but I know some people are fucking dumbasses.
Yeah.
You know, you get it.
Some of those people, I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, do you want to do the intro?
Oh, no, I was just waiting.
No, you do it. Do what you need to do.
When you're home, we're in your head. Lock the doors and close the blinds. Turn on your TV. Turn off your mind.
Turn off your TV.
How did you, what did you use to make that?
After Effects.
After Effects, nice. That looks good.
Thanks.
All right, well, here we are, Soul of a Gamer.
Soul of a Gamer.
And we are here to tell you about
Titanfall 2?
Titanfall Dose.
What?
As the professionals know it.
And as I said last time, we're doing Titanfall 2 because Titanfall 1 didn't have a story mode.
Yeah, clear. Just it's like Star Wars Battlefront, just complete multiplayer.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. There was a game back in the day that was like that too. Was it Quake?
I think it was Quake.
Quake was like a pure multiplayer game, and
Was that Unreal Championship also the same thing too?
I don't remember. I think you're right. That sounds about right. One of the Unreal games was. But yeah, they don't have a lot of these games because a lot of people want that aspect of lore in their game, which, you know, the other, like Destiny did it kind of okay. They still had it all online, but it mixed in a story mode. And
which, I really did enjoy the story for Destiny games.
Yeah.
I just didn't enjoy the grind afterwards and
the
the
grind is always
multiplayer
fun.
afterwards.
the grind is always the hardest part, but this game was good.
Yes.
So I guess let's jump right into our first segment, which is...
What's on the box?
What is on the box?
All right. Well, become one. Pilot a Titan, unite as never before in Titanfall 2. Experience a single-player campaign that explores the unique bond between man and machine. Dominate the competition in multiplayer action, featuring 6 all-new Titans, enhanced pilot abilities, an expanded customization system, new maps, weapons, and much more.
Whoa! 6 all new Titans. As someone who's never played the first one, that doesn't mean anything to me.
I think there was either only 4 or 6 in the original one.
No idea.
But yeah, there's a decent amount of Titans, different Titan loadouts in this one.
Yeah, and I mean, and that was an interesting part of this game were the Titan loadouts, but we can talk about more of that in how to play. But for now, we'll look at the box. It's pretty... I love the artwork in the original design over here on the right side of the box, the front of the box. Very cool artwork. I think it doesn't look like a still frame picture from the game. It honestly looks like someone drew that.
It kind of does, yeah, because it's definitely like them like wall running him and BT like on the side.
Which they could program it. It doesn't happen in the game, but they could definitely program that.
But I mean, it's a really cool action shot. We say a lot of these boxes feel sterile, so having a big thing like we were even saying like on that Soul Calibur box, how it was just showing like the impact of the hit particle effects, but it wasn't actually showing like the hit happen or anything. Like there was no action movements for that. It was just the little boom from that, but actually seeing this whole thing where it looks like the wind's traveling, you can see the explosion going out, whereas you can tell they're coming towards it's a lot better designed.
Yeah, and you know, they've got on the back of the box, captivating single-player campaign, which it was kind of captivating. Some levels were better than others.
100%.
Powerful new Titans, deeper multiplayer action, which I didn't play the multiplayer, but I assume it was deeper.
I used to play the multiplayer on these. I kind of stopped playing multiplayer games a lot, so I didn't play it recently. But from what I remember, the multiplayer action was really good.
What the fuck is remote play?
You could play it like if you had the PS Vita. If you had this on PS4, you could play it on the PS Vita as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why?
The PS Vita was trying to be like
Nintendo
a compatible, kind of like that, but like. Kind of like how the Xbox Game Pass has that Xbox Remote Play now.
Yeah.
Where you can do that on your phone and tablet. PlayStation tried doing that first with the Vita to give the Vita some more energy because no one was buying the Vita.
No.
After PSP
I didn't
kind of
even
failed.
know they had a Vita.
Yeah. It was finally a PlayStation Portable that was with 2 analog sticks, like it should have been designed.
Yeah.
Because the original PSP only had the one, and it made so many games way more difficult. Like playing Monster Hunter on the PSP sucked because aiming and stuff, you had to hold like the different triggers at the same time.
Yeah.
And,
I think what they were trying to do is copy Nintendo because Nintendo only has one analog stick.
yeah.
And they never added a second one. And I can't.
No.
Well, I mean, on the Switch, there's one, obviously, but that's. And that one, and that one took off way more than anything else did. So maybe it was the solution to add a fucking second analog stick.
Yeah, no, and honestly, for what I've heard, the PS Vita is a really good system. I just have never been that interested in it.
Yeah, don't care about PS whatever.
Yeah, PlayStation sucks.
PlayStation sucks.
We're both Xbox people and PC people and Nintendo people.
No,
Sega people.
none of those people. Only Sega.
Yeah, you're only Sega for sure.
All right, let's move on to.
Are we jamming?
You know, the dialogue in this game was really good.
I love the dialogue in this game.
Some of the things I didn't like, I don't know. So when they're introducing a map, so when I think about this, I think about Halo. So when Halo introduces a map, it's kind of this overarching you get to see the view of it, and at the same time, the music matches what you're seeing. Mm-hmm. And in this game, it didn't really have that.
Yeah.
Like you look at here in the left part of this box, you see that waterfall coming down and them staring. That never happened in the fucking game.
I think there was an area with it, but it was like not that prominent.
No, but that's what you'd want that cutscene to happen. Like you'd want to jump into that kind of a little bit more and have the music like swell at that point.
Like the
to match the beauty that you're seeing.
The only I was gonna say the only map that kind of did that is when you're in the house building at the end of that house building level and like the houses are all rising and coming together. Yeah. That's really cinematic.
That was amazing.
That was just fucking crazy cinematic.
But that's what they needed to do a little bit more of, I feel like. Because then the ending of that was pretty lackluster.
Yes. So. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, like I definitely get that. The dialogue, like we said, this fucking killer.
Yeah. BT and Cooper Cooper's kind of lame.
He is kind of like, but like
that much, but BT for sure.
I wish he did talk more, but the things that you can say are pretty funny, and I always love BT's responses back.
So this is one thing we can talk about this more and how to. We'll talk about it on how to supply. So
okay.
No, this is pretty much the dialogue part.
Go for it.
So you get an option between dialogues here, but the option doesn't seem to matter. So why the fuck would you give someone an option?
What do you mean it doesn't seem to matter?
So either dialogue elicits the same response.
No, they get different responses.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because, it's a similar response. Like, it doesn't change the outcome if you're talking to BT and you suddenly try to separate yourself from them by saying, you're a stupid machine.
So, some of the times with the dialogue, a lot of times if you chose the bottom answer, you just got just the straightest answer back.
Yeah.
If you did the top answer a lot of times, it was a lot more quippy a lot of times. BT would say some little quip back, and then you would have to say the bottom one after that. Yeah. Like sometimes it gave you both options to do
sometimes.
both.
That was maybe 4 or 5 times out of 20. But just saying that what they should have done is taken that out and just have the dialogue be natural between the characters. Yeah. There's no point to that interaction because it doesn't change gameplay and it doesn't change the relationship of the character to you.
Especially when you have someone as iconic as they do for Jack Cooper.
Well, and they do that like in the middle of fights too. And half the time I'm missing it because I'm like, oh shit, I can either press up or I can die here.
Yeah.
So...
Which, I mean, I always try to do the dialogue just because I loved all of what BT said. But
what they should have done really is...
just not make the option.
Yeah, just say what you want to say. You obviously want them to say, like, the funny line.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty obvious from the 2 lines you give. It's either like, you're a dick muncher, or you are nice.
Right.
Like, why would anyone say the bottom line then?
And to your point, too, like you said, like, these options that you get are super similar. Like, you'll be like, do you want to go on that path? And you'll be like, the options be like, are you sure that's a good idea? And all right, let's go.
And like, either way, you're going to end up on that fucking path. Like,
so it doesn't change the story at all depending on which one you choose.
Yeah. It just seems like a useless mechanic in the game to give the player a little bit more because the campaign is so short. But I would have just taken that out and had them talk naturally.
Probably just a way to make it just a little bit more interactive. Like you get to choose what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's barely. Like in Knights
of the Old Republic, it'd be better.
Well, in Knights of the Old Republic, it completely changes the way you act and how characters act towards you, which is what you kind of want if you have dialogue options.
Yeah.
But in this, not so much.
I will definitely agree with that. I wish the dialogue actually had some sort of effect.
Yeah. And then that's what I was missing throughout the entire point of this dialogue is like, okay, if I say this, is BT not going to let me write him? Like, is this part going to be harder because BT going to just go solo?
That would be cool.
Yeah. And see, that would have been an interesting thing in the game, but instead you just end up with the same solution.
No, that would have been really cool.
But dialogue was good. Music, music was okay.
Music's just your typical stuff. I don't think it was any big soundtrack hits or anything.
No.
It was just your normal first.
I know
shooter.
one person who bought the soundtrack for this, and that's because he's a fucking loser nerd.
Corwin.
Yeah.
Hey. Well, Corwin got me into Titanfall 2,
Yeah.
so I won't give him
He's
too
a
much
fucking
crap.
loser nerd. Soundtrack is too cinematic. I'm like, okay, it's fucking dumb.
I wouldn't just listen to this soundtrack.
It might be fun, like if you're just not doing anything, if it's distracting music, but it's
or like
not
background like D&D music or something.
I bought the Halo music because it's so fucking
amazing.
phenomenal. Yeah, it's one of the best soundtracks of all time.
You can't get much more iconic than that opening song. Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Nobody hears the da-da-da-da and doesn't think the Pillar of Honor.
Yeah, exactly.
So, just this game, the music was kind of background. I barely noticed it.
Yeah.
Dialogue was good though. It was funny. Like there are a lot of funny, quippy lines. You're right on that. Like BT is the best. At
BT was so great. BT's the giant Titan, by the way.
Yeah.
It's the robot. It's the mech suit. It actually has an AI system, and your main character is Jack Cooper, and he is played by Matt Mercer. For those of you guys who don't know, that's the guy who is the DM for Critical Role.
Yeah.
And he was just on The Legends of Vox Machina, if you watch that show on Amazon, which all of you should, because it's fucking the tits.
Nice.
It's amazing.
Nice. All right. Well, that's all I want to talk about the sound.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on.
Oh, wait.
No.
One more thing. Sorry. Because, there's one.
No. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, go fuck yourselves, people.
Yeah, take that.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up and listen to me talk more about the dialogue.
There's a part where they say the word pussy, and it's
funny as fuck. No. So one of the things that I thought was hilarious is there's a character that sounds a lot like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Which one?
His name's Richter.
Which one was Richter?
He's so on that when you have to
he's one of the beacon Titans you fight, right?
Yeah. One of the on that beacon level where you have to light the beacon and you have to use all the construction cranes to move everything around. He's talking to you during that level, and you have to fight him at the end.
Yes,
but his name's Richter, and he sounds so much like Arnold. And they have a couple of lines where he almost says like "get to the," almost like get to the chopper, but he says "get to the beacon" and stuff like that. And it's just a lot of like homage. I'm pretty sure to Blade Runner, because
Blade Runner
wasn't it Blade Runner that Arnold Schwarzenegger fought Richter? Richter was the bad guy in Blade.
No, Arnold Schwarzenegger was.
Or not Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
Running Man. So one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's movies.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but it's not Blade Runner because that's Harrison Ford.
That's Harrison Ford. Yeah, you're right.
I cannot think of the name, but yes, I know it. I think it was like a late '90s, early 2000s movie.
It was one of those ones when it came out with all of them all at once, and they're all a blur, which is why we can't think of what it is because they're all the same fucking movie.
Yeah.
But he fights a guy named Richter in it, and so I thought it was really funny that the bad guy was Richter, and it had Arnold's voice sound like Arnold.
Yeah.
So that's all I had to add.
All right. Well, that was stupid.
I know. I thought it was cool.
How does it play?
This game's really sweet.
It's so smooth.
So the shooting is really good. They have a wall running mechanic where basically if you're running on a wall, you have special boots that kind of gravitate towards the wall to a certain point, and then you can jump off and launch yourself to another wall. Like it's actually a really cool concept in the game, which not a lot of games have done the wall running bit.
Yeah. And not a lot of games have done it like well, where they actually like it's super beneficial in the story to do the wall running.
Yeah. You know what the best level in this entire game is though, right?
There's a couple of them.
No, there's one that just kills it.
That's the house building episode.
That one was good. But the best level in this game, and it's ranked the number one level in the game and one of the number one levels of all time, is the time travel one.
Oh, yeah.
That one was fucking insane.
holy shit.
So there's a level in this where you have a basic mechanic where you travel between 2 points in time. You have a device that lets you do it, so it's just a button on your controller you press, and then you can travel between them. And in some areas, you'll have, in one timeline, too many soldiers to get through, so you have to go to the other timeline where there's nobody. And in that timeline, there might be obstacles like fire and destroyed bridges and such, and you have to move to the other timeline in order to get past that. And then there's a point where you actually have to do it almost like in an instant. Like you jump in one timeline, you press the button to end the jump in the other timeline. You jump in that timeline, press the button again, end it in another timeline. It's very interesting.
Yeah, this level is so insane because like he was saying, you get this device, but before you get the device, it's just going back and forth in time, like in a 3 or 4 second spurts.
Yeah.
So you have no control of it until you get that device. And once you get control of that device, like he's saying, there's several sections. Like this is a section you have to go down a fan vent hole, and it's got all these fans in it, and you have to keep switching timelines where the fans are broken as you're falling, but there's also debris in the other timeline, so you have to switch while dodging everything.
It's pretty insane, and that's ranked one of the best levels of all time, apparently. And that I will agree, they put a lot of work into that fucking level.
Brilliant. One of my favorite parts of that level is when you're in that big giant section where like the stairs come down on both sides, and it's that big open courtyard, and there's a bunch of alien creatures in the timeline where you're at, and then in the past timeline there's a bunch of soldiers. Yeah. And so you have to keep bouncing back and forth like to not get killed, but like it's so cool because it shows you little remnants of where those people are in that timeline too. So you can like switch timelines, get behind them, switch timeline again, assassinate them. Yep. And it's just
it was such an insane concept into a game, and it's one of the things we talk about. That was just one fucking level. Yeah. They don't bring that back for another level. So that was an interesting idea of them to like, okay, why don't we tease something in this and make it so it's like important here? And this is, something I've complained about where they introduce new concepts too late in the game. Yeah. But in this, it's a concept for one fucking level, and they make that so specific, and I'm like, that's what I want. Yeah. You're gonna introduce a new concept and the fucking concept.
Well, and then they give a reason why you can't do that anymore and throughout the rest of the game. Yeah. Because the device breaks at the end of that level.
Well, and the area, and the arc, the arc, anywhere the arc was where the area was going to happen to. But it was just interesting. That was such an interesting concept. And again, it's what I complain about, where you introduce something too late, but they don't only introduce it, they end it. Yeah, which is what you need to do.
As far as like first person shooter games goes, this is one of the best level designed shooter games I've ever played in all of shooter games.
For sure.
Like, it seems like they really did design the levels and then design gameplay to fit the levels and then design the story to fit all of that.
I will say, so the game maker is Respawn. They make Apex Legends, which is like almost a loosely based continuation of this.
Yes.
And I think in Apex Legends, they really perfected their model for what they wanted Titanfall to be based on mobility. Oh, okay. So Titanfall, I will say the mobility feels sluggish.
Oh, okay, compared to
and it's mostly like the sliding doesn't feel right. The nothing that you do, if you start doing something, you stop your sprint for some reason, even though you shouldn't stop your sprint. Okay. Like the mobility does feel a little bit sluggish, and then later on, when you get used to it, you're like, okay, well, I guess it's fine. I just won't do what I usually do in a game like this.
Oh, okay. See, for me, like, this is one of the faster paced shooters that I've played because I've never actually played Apex. Yeah. And so to me, this felt smooth as fuck. Like,
it's still smooth. It's just the movement itself is sluggish. Okay. So just if they would have released it today with what Apex had, I think that would have felt amazing.
Well, I did hear rumors that they are still talking about doing Titanfall 3.
It would be hard.
So I'm excited for that if they do.
The main bad guy in this game apparently made Apex.
Oh, okay.
Because Apex is like a battle royale. Yeah. And he made the battle royale.
Oh, okay.
That's why they're fighting, because he made it. Because he lives, at the end or whatever. So, any other concept you want to talk about? Shooting's really smooth in this game. Weapons are really good. They're fun.
The mech warfare is fantastic in this.
Mech warfare is insane.
I absolutely love that you can change your mech at any point in time. At any as soon as you unlock it, you can switch your suit every 4 seconds if you wanted to.
So, and what he means is there's a loadout, and you can switch the loadout.
Yeah.
So, and there's about,
I think there's
10
or 12.
9? No, there's less than 12.
Okay, there's probably 10.
Between 8 and 10, I believe.
Yeah.
And the last loadout was really cool. The little minigun. Love that fucking thing.
That thing was broken.
Yeah.
Especially when you did that charge and it would just shoot like a shit ton at once.
That was fun.
Yeah, no, I seriously, some of these loadouts were a lot of fun. Like I really love I love North Star.
Yeah.
It's such an easy one to do.
I wish they would have had Ash's loadout.
Yeah.
The sword.
Well, there was the Ronin. The Ronin, you could use the sword.
Yeah, but the sword is like a secondary effect rather than the primary weapon.
You could use it as a primary.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's not the primary point of that.
Oh, yeah, because it would need to be more like fast or tanky.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it did have a couple different transversal things, but like I was getting shredded when I was trying to just dish damage with the sword. I was doing a lot of damage, but
you just get destroyed because you're just, there's nothing protecting you.
If you don't get the kill and you don't get their battery, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
and it would be nice if they would have made a loadout where it was just sword based, where you could not only block with the sword, but strike really fast after blocking. Like,
yeah. Because you could strike decently fast with it, but it was a little slow. And my other favorite one was the Scorcher. I love
the Scorcher was fun.
Doing those like gas bombs on the ground and then blowing it up with fire.
With thermite grenades.
It was so much fun.
So much fun. And the mech fighting, so this reminded me a lot of Mech Assault.
Yes.
I don't know if you played a Mech Assault.
I love Mech Assault.
Mech Assault was a shit game. It was literally garbage.
It was, but it was amazing.
But it's very similar. Like, it's exactly the same story. You're fighting other mechs, and then, well, I guess a little different because you don't really play outside your mech until Mech Assault 2.
Yes.
But very similar to what Mech Assault wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I think this game perfected a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I definitely have to agree with that. Like, this game is just so different from a lot of first-person shooters and, like, so much more unique. And we haven't had, like, a good Mech Assault game in a long time. The only other game that I know that was kind of popular was Lost Planet.
I never played it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But was it a Mech Assault?
It was a mech and soldier, like, so you were in both on different levels. I know Corey, my brother, played, I think, the first two. I think there's 3 of them.
Okay.
I played the first one I didn't finish it, though.
I played the first level of the first one.
Oh, okay.
And I remember being on the snowy planet.
Yes.
And that's all I remember.
Yes.
And I don't remember being in a mech, but I think that was a point where it was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides that, I loved, just the transversal of everything. Like, so many of these maps, I just really liked all the different ways to get around. And there's not much more I can say about the gameplay. It's just smooth and fucking awesome.
For sure. All right, let's move on to...
It's story time. Let's get started.
So as per usual, we're going to give you a quick rundown of what the story is, and then we're going to talk about our favorite levels in the story.
Yes.
So quick rundown is you are Jack Cooper. You are a recent trainee of one of the best mech pilots. What are they called?
Vanguard Titan pilots.
Pilots. We'll just call them pilots. So you're like the apprentice of that pilot, and you were chosen, like, and this is one thing I didn't like about this. It really didn't explain your backstory too much. Yeah. You must have been chosen for a reason, but it says, like, I had a good feeling about you, and that's about all you get.
The captain basically just, like, is like, he's training you, and he's like, I have just a very good feeling about you. I think you're going to be an amazing pilot one day. I'm going to train you to be a pilot.
Yeah, and he's like the best pilot in the entire field.
Yeah.
So, in the first level, he ends up dying. You're like, of course. Yep. And you gain control of his mech BT.
Yes.
You have to stop your whole point in going here was there's an experimental weapon called the Fold weapon.
Yes.
It can destroy entire planets, and it destroyed a moon that was nearby. Your goal is to stop the Fold weapon and figure out what it is. And you eventually figure out it's what would you call it? It's like it almost creates like a portal inside of a planet and then just destroys it because of the portal in there. Yeah,
it's so hard to explain, but it's this giant, like, blue orb of just solid energy that is just like,
which seems
you can use
alien too.
Yes.
And they say that, but they never address it later on.
Yeah, they don't. I don't think they know. Which, honestly, if you're going to have a game and you're not going to explain something, just say no one understands it. Like, that, I don't mind that.
Or throw in some, what Destiny did, the Grimoires. You don't have to have it in part of the main game. You can put it behind the scenes.
I'm also okay with having a game not explain shit if they just don't know.
Well, but they already put something in that that makes it so explaining it would be easy. They put in the pilot helmets.
That's
so
true.
each pilot helmet could actually explain
Have
a
a
part
message.
of the, yeah, exactly.
Kind of
Or
like Last of Us had like the
you could just
capes.
have a text.
Yeah.
Like literally just text messages that like Mass Effect has, where you get more information without having to stop
Hey,
playing the game.
I don't want to read my video games.
I know, but it gives you more information, and that's what a lot of games do now. Because they can't put all the information they want to in the game, they give you a text-based version of it. So, and I think that would have been a good idea for them, but clearly they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, you stop the fold weapon, BT gets destroyed, you leave, and there's a little cutscene after the credits that shows that BT might still be alive. And you go back to your home planet and you're a hero.
Credit scene was so long.
It was
So long. I've been trying to actually sit through these.
You have to sit through the credits. Because you know they're going to put something after because they
know.
want you to watch the credits.
Because everything in the world's doing it. Thank you, Marvel, for ruining all the endings of everything to where we have to sit and watch every end credit of every movie and game now.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
Marvel.
I know other people did it first, but you were the one who made it popular.
Yeah,
so.
you are. What was I saying? So yeah, our favorite levels. I think we already touched on a few. Obviously, the time travel one.
Yes.
Someone's gonna fucking kill it.
Yeah, that one's gonna be hard. That one, like you said, it has to be in the list of like just best made levels ever.
Yeah, and I think I would like the platform one more. The one with the city built.
Oh, the houses being built.
Like, and I'd love that one more if the factory wasn't just such a drawing part of the game. It was so boring.
Fair.
Like getting through the actual factory to get to that end part where you're like, like that part was really cool, and then the rest of it was so fucking boring.
I mean, I wish there was more, like, because you could just basically run through the factory. Like, if there was more points where you actually had to fight stuff and more Titans to fight or something, it would be a lot more interesting. But the level design of that is still really good. But yeah, I get what you're saying on that for sure. Because I want to say that one's like my favorite. But yeah, when pointing that out, I'm like, yeah. Just the time travel one's just so much better in that aspect because there's not a dull moment in the time
there
travel.
isn't. Every moment in that is like, holy shit. You get to see this other pilot who was already time traveling and kind of see what he was doing there, which was interesting. Cool. It's weird that they knew about the time travel aspect clearly because they had a machine for it. I'm like, how the fuck did you guys know about this?
I don't know.
More details, people.
Nah, fuck it.
Again, that's where they could have been like, oh, we sent some spies in beforehand, and the pilot helmet you could be collecting could be of the spies.
I did think it was really funny on that instance where you're looking back at that old pilot, and it's when he's getting the orders, and she's like, all right, now take a team with you. I don't want you to go out alone like you always do. And then you notice that he's alone the entire time he's there, and I'm like, God damn it, this fucking asshole.
But I don't think he could have taken a team because it's only a one person.
That's true.
Yeah. You could, if you get into a mech, you could like return with the mech, but you have to be inside the mech to do that.
Yeah, I would wonder if it would take the mech too. That'd be interesting.
No, it did.
Oh,
we had to do that when.
That's right.
Yeah, you had to get through the force field.
That's right. I forgot about that.
It shouldn't have taken the mech really, but it did.
It's powerful.
But you got to
unexplained magic or science or whatever the fuck it was.
You got to imagine that if you did it out in the open, it doesn't create like a bubble that takes everything inside that bubble. It just takes you. All right. So why is it when you're in the mech, suddenly it just takes the mech with you?
I don't know.
You're connected sexually. That's why.
Well, you do have a Neuralink, so maybe it's that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Which they kind of did the Neuralink probably the same as they did in like Pacific Rim.
They did. Kind of similar, except they didn't need another person in there.
Yeah.
So.
And the Titan could have control, or you could have control, and they could switch control back and forth to each other, which is really interesting.
One thing I thought they would do in the story is kind of reveal that the Titan technology is too far advanced for humanity.
Yeah.
And that was also alien technology. Because if you notice in the time travel level, before you do all the time travel stuff, BT says, I sense me in here. Like my sensors think that I'm somewhere here, which a couple alluding points, BT dies at the end, but then he's alive somehow. So that could be one thing alluding to that.
That's
or
true.
it could literally be alluding to the fact that he went back in time for a moment and then came back.
That's true too.
So it's interesting, but I thought he was alluding at the time to, I wonder if we're going to figure out how Titans are made. I wonder if there's alien technology here that Titans get made with, and that's how they know this stuff.
Yeah, maybe this does need some more storage.
I think, like I said, I think all they should have done is added some grimoires to it, just given some extra information, just because you really don't know how Titans are made.
It's true.
You don't know why these two factions are fighting. Besides, one's a corporation, it seems like, and one's a resistance for owning planets. And I'm like, okay, well, this isn't enough information to understand what's going on. It's like the first Halo. You had no idea why the humans in the Covenant were fighting until the books came out.
True. One of my other favorite levels besides those two was the level where you're chasing down the Ark and all the ships and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're running through with that new captain and you're just running through killing Titans together to get to the elevator before the Ark gets away and stuff like that. Like that entire level, I was like,
I think
this is fucking sweet.
The post level did that too.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, you're on actual ships, like fighting inside the ships and then on top of the ships, and you're fighting the jet guy.
Not being able. Oh yeah, the jet guy was ridiculous. But Viper. Them even wanting to travel further across the ship and needing to get to other platforms and having other ships having to fly close so they could wall run off of it and stuff like that. I was like, that's fucking sweet.
Mm-hmm. The bosses in this game, a couple of them were.
Some were really hard, some were really easy.
What I mean is some of them were memorable, some of them weren't.
Yeah.
I would say the pyro guy wasn't very memorable.
No.
But he seemed memorable in the moment, right? Like he seemed like a big deal in the moment. And then once you kill him, you're like, okay, that's it.
Pretty much.
Ash was one of my favorites, but Ash
was one of the harder ones.
Ash is in Apex Legends. She gets revived.
Oh, okay.
She's a robot.
Oh, makes sense.
So in the Respawn Legends here or whatever, they have robots that can take on human will.
Oh,
if the human consciousness is transferred to it, and her consciousness, the Dr. Ash something, was transferred to a simulacron, which is the robot.
Oh, okay.
So she can keep coming back if she really wanted to, even though she's dead.
Fine, Plagueis, calm down.
Yeah, so it's like nonstop.
Yeah.
And then they do a couple of those. I think she was the only robot in Titanfall.
Okay.
Because I don't think anyone else was a simulacron or whatever. But
okay.
Yeah, like I said, the main bad guy ends up making Apex Legends. He's the creator of it. And if one of the things is in Apex Legends, you can become an Apex Predator, which is the name of their mercenary group.
Yep.
Which as soon as I heard that, I'm like, oh, it makes sense.
Nice.
I get it.
See, it's good to have you have played Apex because I'm getting more lore now.
Yeah. You get a little bit more, but not enough. They really don't go deep into why the IMC and what were the name of the resistance? I can't even remember. Maybe it was just resistance.
I can't remember the name.
But why they're fighting, you still don't get any of that cool stuff. But
okay.
It'd be cool if they released Titanfall 3 and you get a lot more background to it.
Yeah.
Clearly they teased it with the ending of Titanfall 2 where the helmet comes.
Well, because they originally planned on doing a Titanfall 3, but then it got canned and the Apex Legends or whatever went before it.
Yeah. Why did they get canned, do you know?
I don't know. That was right when EA started just canceling a bunch of projects. They canceled the new Skate game. They canceled
I wonder if that was around what was the Star Wars game we did, Battlefront? That was around Battlefront 2.
I think so.
So it could be because that game got a lot of
hate for it. Yeah.
Heat for microtransactions.
Yeah, EA just got hit with a ton of stuff on all their microtransactions and all the games, and they canceled a ton of games. And then now a lot of those games are being made again.
Yeah. Titanfall 3 would be a good one. I think a lot of people are asking for it.
There's a ton.
They'd probably make a 30 to 40 hour story for 3.
I would love that, honestly, because this story is short.
Yeah.
I played through this in almost one sitting.
Yeah. And I mean, you just don't have cutscenes as many.
No, not really.
So if you had more cutscenes in there, that would extend the time by a lot. But clearly this game, again, multiplayer.
Yeah.
That's basically what they wanted out of this game, was to be a multiplayer game, because the way you make money in games is by microtransactions, and you only make those on multiplayer games.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, it's a shame, but I do even them incorporating the story was just them having it just be a multiplayer game and then putting a story out that was this good. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I want to know what you could do with a full-fledged story.
Honestly.
Just a story game. because that would be.
I mean, what are some of the most fun games we play? Are just story games, right?
Yeah.
Like the Forgotten City.
Oh yeah,
we really enjoyed that one. That's a 4-hour game. It's just a fucking story game.
pretty much. Yeah.
It's just more fun. They're more fun kinds of games.
Yes, exactly.
Whereas like MMOs are fun, but they get boring and repetitive after a while.
Yeah.
So
Play games like The Last of Us, and it's just story the entire
yeah,
time, and
just
you just
love it.
Yeah, so enthralled in it. But yeah, so
you beat it yet?
Which one?
The Last of Us 2? No, didn't think so.
I don't honestly like. I feel so torn because like I love the game. It's so smooth. It plays so well. It's incredible, but like, it's not. It's not where I was thinking it was going to go, and it's just so fucking brutal the entire time. And
want you to see.
I know, like, he's amazing, and I can't wait for the TV show.
Yeah.
And I've heard now that they're talking about a script for Last of Us 3. And so I'm like, God damn it, I'm gonna fucking have to beat this. Probably should.
Maybe the ending is you get to bring everyone back to life.
Okay.
Maybe.
That would be stupid. I would hate it if they went that.
Then you kill him again.
But yeah, it's just so hard.
Yeah.
When they kill your favorite character off right at the beginning of the game.
Listen, the main character needed to die. He was not a good guy. He was the bad guy. We've talked about this.
In one of our most controversial episodes.
That one was funny. He's clearly like a bad person in here.
I know. It's one of those things. It's like, he's a bad dude, and when you really sit down and think about all the things he did, there's a lot of bad shit that he did.
Yeah.
And
But
so
I mean, like the end of that is just the worst thing. Like it could cure the world, but I love the little girl.
At least we came out to find that there was no actually way.
At least we found out that what he did was completely justifiable later on.
God damn, fuck you. I don't want to love Joel, okay?
I'm glad they killed him. I think the other main character, Ellie really
She's so
took the stage
amazing.
in that
Yeah,
game.
she
I
really
think
did.
She did so much better than
Well, and
Joel
honestly,
did.
once you start playing as Ellie in the first one, like that's what you want to do
Yeah.
the rest of the game. And so being able to play Ellie for 90% of Last of Us 2 was incredible.
Yeah.
But God, the shit that she had to go through and the shit that she's gone through, and just like this entire game, I was just like, I don't know if I could handle all this shit. Like, holy fuck, this is fucked. Like, this is way more fucked than any of the fucking Walking Dead TV show or anything like that. Like, this is.
I don't know. The comic is pretty fucked.
Okay, I haven't read the comic, and I know
really
the comic's
good.
way different,
really
and I heard a lot better than the show. But
All right.
yeah.
Well, that's it for my favorite levels. There were a couple, like you said, there are a lot of cinematic levels where you just walk through and you're like, oh my God, this is beautiful. And that's really close to the beginning before you get to the more technological
parts of the game.
Technological.
Yeah.
More like as you get into like the bases and the areas that are more developed. Like in the beginning, it's just all fucking underdeveloped and it's gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's definitely like the different types of environments you're in is really cool.
Yeah. It would have been cool if they added like a magma or a
that would have been
freezing
awesome.
or something like that.
Because they had the radiation level and stuff,
Yeah.
which that was a cool one too with the arc weapon. One of the other things that I really enjoyed is like all the moments where BT had to throw you.
Yeah.
And like there's that one moment where like after you light the beacon or whatever and you like get blasted off and you start like flying and he catches you and then you hold up a thumbs up and he just like yes.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments too is, which we haven't talked about yet. So BT gets destroyed at some point in the middle of the game, and you have to take his eye.
Oh yeah.
And then you get this like really like unlimited ammo gun somehow.
Yeah,
it's like you're in BT, but you're not in BT.
You're holding BT's eye above this gun called the Seer.
Yeah.
And the Seer kit is just cool but overpowered, and they couldn't have had it in more of the game than what it was.
Yeah, so you get to like instantly aim at everything you see, and then you just shoot, and it shoots all those things.
Instant headshots and everything.
Yep.
If you played Overwatch, it's not McCree anymore, but
I don't know.
If you played Overwatch, it's McCree's ultimate ability.
Yeah.
He's not McCree anymore because of, the sexual education stuff. They had to change the name of the character because it was named after an asshole who sexually assaulted a bunch of the employees.
I had no idea.
But it's that ability just over and over again, like instantly. So you auto lock in everyone's heads and just it's just ridiculous. One shot kills everything. It's ridiculous. But that level is incredible. Just wall running through everything and just killing everything instantly. Like, it's such a fast paced,
and it's a short level. And I think they did that on purpose because they don't want you to feel like unstoppable.
Yeah. And then one of my other favorite moments was there's a moment where after killing a bunch of enemies, Cooper's like, yeah, hot streak. And BT's like, actually, your temperature is just fine. You don't have any temperature problems at all. And he's like, no, BT, it's just an expression. Like, I killed a bunch of enemies all at once. He's like, oh, okay. Adding hot streak to my vocabulary. And then he's like, since yesterday, I've had 38 hot streaks. And I was like, yes.
It's pretty funny.
Like, there's so many good lines.
The ending is really good, too.
Yeah.
Because BT sacrifices himself to stop the arc, but after he does that, you have to fucking you're literally on floating islands pretty much, and you've got to just wall run your way to this pickup point for a helicopter.
Yeah,
and it's fucked. It's insane.
And the helicopter's like, we can't land anywhere. There's nowhere safe to land. You have to jump into this fucking helicopter.
Yeah, you literally
have your ass over here.
You have to jump before it's even there. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, and they barely get out in time. And it's fucking awesome because right before that moment, you tell BT, I ain't leaving. I'm right here with you, BT.
He's like, I know.
And then as soon as they launch out of that cannon, BT opens up the canister that you're in, and he's like, protocol, save the pilot.
Yeah, he just throws you it's pretty cool. It's really cool.
And Jack is just like, BT, no, what are you doing? No.
And then he's just like, all right, well, I guess I have to run on Walt now.
Yeah, I just like,
I have no choice.
That was such a cool moment, though. Like, that's one of the best sacrifice play moments I've seen in the game.
Yeah,
and it's just like, yep, that's exactly what I wanted. BT was such a greatly designed character.
He was.
He makes the game.
He does.
So much so.
All right, well, let's move on to
Worth or not?
I think we're both probably going to go Worth.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's just where we want to stay with this game. This game was just so much fun. The story was captivating. The characters were really good. It was well written for a story that's really just thrown in there.
You don't see many first-person shooter games have a story this good.
Well, and you think about the last first-person shooter we played, the what was it called? The one with
Spec Ops, the line? No.
No, was it Spec Ops: The Line? It's the one where you have to bomb all the civilians.
Yeah, Spec Ops. Yeah.
And I liked that, but the story wasn't that good. It had a lot of holes in it.
It had a
lot of confusing parts, but this game seemed a lot more put together, and they're similar styles. They're both games made to be multiplayer games.
And this one's gameplay far outweighs that, and the level design just destroys the game. Seriously, if you want just beautifully designed levels where you're going to just absolutely love how everything was designed in these levels and the layouts of these levels, this is the game.
Yeah.
There's not many games that are designed this well, level design wise.
And I feel like this game and maybe Titanfall 1 put Respawn on the map.
They did.
I don't know anything else they made, but it seems like those are their claims to glory. I think they were
their first two games.
Yeah, and then Apex Legends is what's keeping them going now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And hopefully we get a Titanfall 3.
Hopefully.
And if you have Game Pass or EA Access, it's on both of those.
Or if you send us $6,000,
we will send you a copy of the game.
We will give you a copy of the game signed.
Yes.
And with shit on it.
Both of our shits mixed together?
Both of our shits mixed together.
And for an extra $2,000, we'll come on it.
We'll come on it, too. So you guys get a real good deal there.
It's the greatest deal ever.
This is a really bad deal, actually. Don't take this.
I don't want to ever
Have to do this.
come on anything that you shouldn't come on. God damn it.
Jesus. All right.
I'm done.
All right. And, well, next week's game is
Catherine.
Catherine. I don't know
yes.
what this game is about, nor have I started it, so we're gonna see.
So, do you want a little rundown of it? Or
No.
Okay.
We're gonna get surprised when we jump in.
You're gonna be surprised. It's a weird one.
Yeah, one game that I was thinking we should play is this game that I played recently. It's like a scary survival game. It's
Sounds awful.
what is it called? It's the Japanese name, and the whole point.
Fatal Frame?
No, the whole point is you are in a school, and each difficulty is like a different level of the game.
Huh.
So in the first difficulty, you walk into the school as either you or your friend. I think it's your friend, actually. It might be you. I don't
Okay.
remember. And this girl is chasing you, and she's got like a demon version, and she wants you to be her senpai.
Oh, okay.
And she follows you, and whenever she gets near you, she stabs you.
Okay.
So you have to stay away from her and hide from her. It's the whole point in the school while grabbing shit. And if you open a door, this poisonous gas will fall down and it'll like destroy your health. You'll be dead in no time.
Jesus. Okay.
So you have to get this antidote before you go in there, and it makes you immune to the poison. And it was interesting playing the first part of this because I got so stuck because it's just so.
Oh, okay.
It's so like you have to do everything in a right order in order to get it done.
Oh.
And then after that, if you do the next difficulty level, now you're locked in a room because you got captured at the end of the first one.
Oh, jeez.
And you have to get out of the locked room and now do kind of an opposite idea of what you did from the first one.
Okay.
So and then there's like 6 difficulties, and each difficulty is a new level.
Jesus.
And each time she's doing more damage to you.
I don't know if I like that.
It seems really.
It seems interesting as fuck.
I could not
but-
get past the first part of it.
Okay.
I could
That
not.
sounds awful.
So, and that's the easiest difficulty.
There is one game coming out that I'm debating us actually playing together and having maybe even recording it.
Yeah.
It's called The Quarry.
The Quarry?
The Quarry.
The Quarry?
Quarry.
Quarry.
Quar. Yeah. So it's
That's not the sequel to The Forest, is it?
no.
Okay.
So this one is the same people who did. It's the Dark Pictures anthology games, and they also did Until Dawn.
Okay.
Which Until Dawn's on our list as well. But this one's going to be on all platforms, whereas Until Dawn's only on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Which we're still going to do Until Dawn later on our list, but this one has apparently I think someone said 116 different endings or something like that.
Goddamn.
And
Too many endings.
we can play it if we did a game night, movie night with it or whatever, we could get a bunch of people put together. Each person controls a character, and you pass the controller when it's that character's turn.
Interesting.
And they make all the decisions for that character, and you get to see who makes it out alive at the end of the game or movie. There's movie mode, there's game mode, there's playing it online. There's so many different ways to do it. And Until Dawn did that with just single player. And it's just the most incredible story, and it's got a lot of big actors.
Yeah.
And this one also has a ton of big actors in it.
All right. Well, can't wait for it to come out then.
Yeah, it sounds fucking ridiculous. I'm gonna pre-order it. I haven't pre-ordered a game in a while, but that one's definitely getting
That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
We love you.